Embezzlement, unfortunately, is so prevalent in our industry. 3 out of 5 dentists will be embezzled from in their career. The most crucial part of dental billing is posting payments accurately, reading the EOB accurately. I think they're made confusing on purpose. And that is how bond dental billing started, which was a huge blessing in disguise. I was able to join the speaking consulting network and really get mentorship that I needed while starting a business. At that time, we were continuously growing at a rapid rate. December 2022 is when a trusted friend and colleague of mine introduced me to what wisdom was going to be.
Welcome to a new era of dentistry, the ultimate podcast for uncovering the latest trends, breakthroughs, and real-life stories in the dental industry. Hosted by me, Ashley Bond, co-founder and Chief Dental Billing Officer at Wisdom. Let's dive right in.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1. We're super excited. As mentioned in the intro episode, each week will have its own subject matter focus. This week's subject is hot topics. And we thought, how fitting would it be to start out with the hot topic of what is wisdom? What even is wisdom dental billing? Many people have heard of Ashley Bond and Bond Dental Billing. Likewise, many people are wondering about this partnership with Wisdom. So that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Ashley to talk about that a little bit more.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's a question I've been getting asked a lot, understandably. And so I think it would be smart to talk about where bond dental billing started. And so that brings us back to 2019, but even before that. So I worked in my father's practice. 2009 is when I started, just a young kid in college, not knowing what she wanted to do with her life. And my dad told me, his office manager quit, which I know a lot of you are experiencing. So he said, "You're going to come work for me." So I still remember one of the first phone calls I took at his practice, and someone wanted to make an appointment, and it was like a really important crown appointment. I'm like, "Gotcha, of course." Didn't get their name, didn't get their information. I got nothing, and I scheduled an appointment for a mystery person. So I had to learn from the beginning on how to even answer phone calls, what a mesial and distal was. It was just foreign language to me. So I ended up learning through many consultants. Lois Banta was a huge influence when I was first starting. I read all of her books. Thankfully, my dad hired her as our consultant during that time and just soaked up as much knowledge as I could from her, listened to her CDs in the car, loved just taking in all the information I could. Yes, back when there were CDs that you would play in your car, just would try to soak in all the knowledge because it was all so new. But then what happened is, I worked with his practice until 2015 when I actually have a Facebook post of saying that I retired. And so I had this thought that oh, I'm retiring. This is it. I was pregnant with my second daughter. I'm like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. They're good. They don't need me. This is the next phase of my life. And it's funny. So it's not funny. She was in the NICU, and I remember getting still messages after I retired. I'm like, what do we do here? How do we do this? And of course I answered them until my dad was like, you have a daughter in the NICU. You have to stop answering questions. All that to be said, I thought I was retiring. You never retire. As many of you know, if once you get sucked into the dental space, you never leave, especially if it's a family practice. It's just not happening. My husband called it kind of like the mafia. Once you're in, can't really just the dental mafia. You can't get out. So for about 4 years, I really went through with him trying to train his team. And unfortunately, though, he went through so much turnover. So right when I had retired, the person taking over my position put in her notice. And since then, it was just a revolving door of people. And that was really difficult. It was difficult. You just never know when you bring someone in, how much do they know about dental billing, about, office management. My father didn't know, so he didn't know what to look out for. So it was really me trying to consult, trying to be kind of an office manager remotely for 4 years. And then it finally came to head in 2019. He just suspected potential embezzlement. It just something wasn't right with the books. So we had been through probably 10 people in 4 years. It was a lot. And so what ended up happening is I went in, like always, cleaned up the accounts, made sure the checks were posted, even though they were already sent to the bank, tried to clean it all up for him. And then I just told him, like, can I do this from home? Like, I don't know how this works, but I'm tired of coming in. I'm tired of cleaning everything up, tired of training. And then once I find someone that's trained, they leave. Can I just do this from home? Because it's going to make my life a lot easier. And that for him was like, yes, please. It would give him finally peace of mind that, when you were working in my practice, I have 3 older sisters. There was a time that 3 of the 4 of us were all working together in my dad's practice. And he would always say, those are the best times because I didn't have to worry about anything. I just trusted you guys and you had it handled. So it was a way for me to give him peace of mind that I care. Obviously, it's my father's practice and I'm going to, treat it like my father's practice, like family. So I started doing the outsourcing for him back then. I mean, he would drive me his checks. We weren't even scanning at that point because it was so new. So he would drive me his checks, his EOBs. I would post them, and then I would give him back his checks. Like, it was such an old way to do it, but we made it work. And then what I realized is, hey, I could do this for other offices, like maybe with a little more technology of scanning instead of physically handing me the checks, but we can do this with other offices. And that is how Bond Dental billing started. I remember it was December. We were going to the Polar Express with my 4 young kiddos. And I just had my son was born that year, April in 2019. And we are going to the Polar Express. And it was at the same time I was like making my logo and website. And so I just remember, I don't know why, that's the memory I have of like, I have to figure out this logo and this website to like make this company. But then I just put one foot in front of the other and it continued to grow. And I mean, Bond Dental Billing started December 2019, right before COVID, which was a huge blessing in disguise. I was able to join the Speaking Consulting Network and really get mentorship that I needed while starting a business. And then from there, it just took off. So 2021 is when it went from just myself and a handful of billers to where we brought on like 20 billers at the same time. We've grown like 600%, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
At what point, when did you coin the phrase dental insurance sucks?
Yes.
And was that just you or was it you and your sisters? Like, tell me the dental insurance sucks story.
Yeah, so my family's obviously in dentistry. I have my father, who's of course a dentist, and then the 2 sisters right above me. So I'm the baby of the family, 3 older sisters. The oldest is the one that's not in dentistry, but the other 2 are. One's a hygienist, and the other one was an office manager as well. So how dental insurance sucks started is, so I remember sitting on my couch, and we were going to ADAM. So my sister Lauren and I were going to be going to ADAM for the first time as an attendee. And I really wanted to make these like really cute shirts that the company was just starting. I wanted to get our name out there. So like, what can I say that's going to draw attention? And a few versions I had. So dental insurance sucks was one. One was I have 99 problems, but insurance isn't one. And but with the dental insurance sucks, I loved it. And I asked my husband, he's like, I don't know, is that inappropriate? Like maybe not professional enough. So I'm like, okay, what? I don't know now. And now I'm second guessing myself. So I texted a doctor who was one of my first clients, Dr. Davidson, out in New York, love her to death. And I just asked her, I said, hey, if you were a dentist at a conference and you saw this, would this be unprofessional to you? And immediately she's like, absolutely not. That is so true. Get those shirts today. Like, yes, please. So thank you, Dr. Davidson. You are the one that gave me just the okay, the nod of approval. They're like, yeah, this is what the offices are feeling. It's what the administrative team members are feeling. It's what the doctors are feeling. So we coined dental insurance sucks, put it on our t-shirts, went to ADOM, and it was a hit. It's evolved a little now to dental insurance sucks, but not with us. So yes, dental insurance is hard to work with, but when you outsource and you have a billing company, it doesn't have to suck so bad. Like we can take
Right.
the suckiness from you. So that is how dental insurance sucks started, which we get a lot of looks from dental insurance companies when we go to conferences. But it's all, they come, we have great conversations. It's all in fun. So we understand the payers have needs too, and we can do a better job on our end. So it's all in fun. It's still all in love, but the doctors love our little slogan.
That's a great story. And, circling back to the whole dental mafia thing and insurance sucks, and that's exactly how I ended up going for the marketing and content education last year and getting certified in that because I thought I was tired of dental insurance because it sucks, being in operations. But come to find out, I really wasn't. I wanted to do something else with it. So here I am still in the dental mafia talking on
Can't
this
leave.
podcast about dental insurance, but from just a content standpoint to help you help
Mhm.
people, which brings me to back to what is wisdom. So
Mhm.
how is wisdom partnering with you and your history and making dental insurance not suck so much?
Yeah, absolutely. So bond dental billing officially started in 2019. And then it would have been, let's see, we're in 2024 now. So it would have been, oh man, September of 2020 or December 2022 is when real just trusted friend and colleague of mine introduced me to what wisdom was going to be. At that time, we were continuously growing at a rapid rate. As I mentioned, I have 4 younger kids, and it was really on my shoulders and a small team to figure out the answers on, okay, we're growing. How do we keep quality the same? How do we do all the things that we want to do at
Mhm.
this pace, but also still be a mom, still be a wife, and still be a friend. So that's when I was introduced to a company, and it was just, let's get to know each other. And our cultures aligned so well. This is my baby. And, I think when you come from a family practice, there's just so much ownership in something that you or your family has started and want to make sure that it's taken care of. And with our offices, all of our offices become like family. Like Dr. Davison, I
Mhm.
mentioned, like she's like to me, we've never physically met, but like that's family. They're in our bond dental billing family. And I want to make sure that any company I'm talking to views it that same way. So when we were first talking, like that was it's people first. And that to me was huge. And it wasn't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk. So that was an immediate release of stress that, wow, these people really care. And they've proven themselves to continue to care. And it's about innovating for the betterment of offices and offices teams. It just started with some conversations, making sure that cultures aligned, both that I wasn't crazy and that they wanted to work with me and the vice versa. And then two, with the technology piece. So I know that technology is coming fast. I mean, we all see it now, of course. Technology
Yeah.
is coming fast. I know what I can fake it until I make it. Like I do that really well, but there are some things that you can't fake it until you make it. And technology is just, it's a foreign beast to me. I
Yeah.
know how necessary it is, and I know wave a magic wand what I want technology to be for our team, but you ask me to code something or build something and I'm out. Like I have no idea how to do that. So that was a big appealing piece to all of this is their idea behind partnering with a billing company that's using the human billers, which is what bond dental billing was, but then equipping that team with technology. So our philosophies are the same. The future is not going to be technology only. There are so many intricacies when it comes to dental billing, when it comes to posting payments. AI is not going to be able to do everything. On the other side, dental billing is so manual. It is just so outdated. So how can we bridge the gap between AI technology and the human billers to make the human billers more efficient? That's what I dreamed of doing. And so this partnership is really making that dream come true, that we can make our human billers more efficient with the technology that we're building on right now, which I'm so excited when we'll be able to release the products that we are building out. And we're building them with the dental billers in mind. Our technology team, it's not just them building, they're consulting with our billers. They're consulting with me, with you. They're really where I see sometimes software technologies it doesn't work is if you're building something without the user input. You need the user's input because it has to work for them. It has to make sense. Dental insurance is another language. Dental billing is another language. It takes years to master it. So you really need the user insight to build something successfully. So very, very excited for what's going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a new era. Just keep
Absolutely.
plugging that key phrase there.
Yeah, right?
Is there anything that you would say you don't want technology to do? Like, what should always stay people focused?
It's a great question. And I think it would be naive of me to say an answer that wouldn't necessarily be changed because ChatGPT right now, I love it. There is not a world 10 years ago that I could have imagined that would be a resource. So, what I know today, though, and this might change with how technology evolves, but from what I know today, when it comes to posting insurance payments, and I think what I have seen is I've seen humans do this without having the training to do it well, and the disasters that can be made with not posting accurately. Like that is the most crucial part of dental billing is posting payments accurately, reading the EOB accurately. As you know, and as our technology team is learning, every EOB is different. There is no standard EOB. I think they're made confusing on purpose. So I think that is the only thing that can technology assist with posting? 100% it's going to. Should it be the final say? That's where I'm not sure. I really think you need to have that human dental expert that knows exactly about adjustments, interest payments, recoupments, all the intricacies when it comes to downgrading. If you're submitting a crown and a buildup and they downgrade the buildup, they say it's inclusive. That's not necessarily the case. It could just be
Right.
that you need to appeal it. So we need to split the claim. We need to appeal the buildup. So little details like that take years of experience. And that's why I'm excited too that our philosophy is human experts powered by technology.
That's a great answer. And you just reminded me of something as far as AI and technology versus people go. Just in working in my state in dental billing, I thought I knew all the rules, but then I got into remote dental billing and I figured out that I don't know all the rules. The rules in Rhode Island, maybe, especially when it comes to downgrades and non-covered services, different states have different rules. I never knew that until this world. And I don't know with today's technology how any machine could. There are so many if then that's. I always joke around. My husband has asked me, why isn't there a school or a college for what you do? And I'm like, well, I mean, there's a little bit of a rule book when it comes to coding. But as far as what matters on an EOB, there's not a rule book that's applicable nationwide in every situation. It just doesn't work like that. So I think that what we're trying to achieve here with the podcast and also with wisdom is going to be integral in finding that to bridge the gap in between the two.
100%. Yeah, the never ever
Yeah,
rules.
never
And
ever.
when can you charge the patient? When can you
Yeah,
not? There's so many. And for those that, are familiar with code like technology, it's a formula.
yeah.
I mean, behind the scenes is a formula. And there are so many and if then statements when it comes to posting payments that really you need the dental experts. And that's why I started, bond dental billing. That's why I'm so excited about Wisdom is bringing out there is because knowing how needed our dental billers are, they are the backbone to the company. They are the experts. And you can't be successful without your team of dental billers that have been through it, that have years of experience and knowledge. That is the most crucial part of any billing company is who is the team behind you.
Yeah. You just made me realize, we may have listeners who aren't that, they're just haven't been exposed to remote dental billing or dental billers. They're used to business assistant or front desk or whatever that terminology is in the office. So let's squirrel for just a minute here and talk about what exactly is a dental biller or remote dental billing, and maybe what you might see out there in companies, because they aren't all the same. And as technology evolves, so there are a lot more options out there, like big company, small company, no company, just a person at home. So, what's your take on all that?
Yeah. And for those that I know this is our first episode, but Steph and I have worked together for a while now. We get squirrel brain too. So if you ever hear us say squirrel,
Squirrel
um,
alert.
we just go off down the rabbit holes. So either rabbiting, squirreling. But no, that's a great question. There are so many different ways that you can outsource now. It's been around in dentistry for a while, but I think it's been a big hot topic lately. Honestly, I mean, very fitting for the first episode on hot topics. It's been a big hot topic. And I think there are a lot of considerations if you're looking into outsourcing. First, let me talk about, before I squirrel too much, let me talk about dental biller. Like, what is that? How is it different from when you're in the office? So, for our team, we have a handful of dental billers. You can have a dental biller that they're in charge of posting the insurance payments that are coming in, make sure the correct adjustments are in there, making sure it balances. So important to make sure what you're posting balances. So important that you separate who is posting from who is handling the money. Even if you're not outsourcing, when I worked at my father's practice, my sister and I, we separated the duties. Like, who is balancing is not the one handling the money. So no matter what your situation is, make sure it's separated. Just for embezzlement, unfortunately, is so prevalent in our industry. 3 out of 5 dentists will be embezzled from in their career. So don't think it can't happen to you. So just, again, another little topic there, but just have that in the back of your head. So we have billers that post insurance payments. They do the claim submission, so sending the claims the next business day, correct attachments, narratives from the clinical notes. Could go down a whole another rabbit hole about clinical notes, but I won't go there. Checking your rejections, that's huge, and it gets missed. Just because you send a claim does not mean it made it to the insurance company. Making sure you have someone following up with rejections. And then those that are in charge of the insurance aging. That insurance aging report needs to be ran every single week at a minimum, being worked. Those claims need to be called on. They need to not just be blindly resubmitted. You need to call, see what's going on. You need to make sure you have great notes in your practice management software. You have to have notes, claim status notes, posting notes. That's how your team is going to communicate with one another. We have patient billing team members, so those that focus on our patient collection side. And then, of course, insurance verification, those that get the full breakdowns, get the eligibility, put it back into the practice management software, make sure everything's up to date. Another crucial part. So really what, our billers do is allow the team that's in the office to be present in the office. So instead of being on hold for hours, instead of fighting about appeals or claims that are denied, and then you got that stack. I mean, I remember I would post Monday morning, I would open up the mail, have the big stack of the checks that I had to post. And I'd be like, all right, guys, don't talk to me for a few hours. I got to post these payments. And then you have to make sure you're posted and balanced by the end of the day. I don't know about you, but we couldn't leave the practice unless we balanced. And the times that it was like time to clock out and I was a penny off, oh, that was just the worst. And then you have to go line by line, check by check. Where did I mess up?
Uh,
So,
you
and
just
that's because
gave
they
me
make,
like a
I know,
nightmare
flashback.
flashback. It's always like the last 5 minutes of the day.
Yes, we've all been there. So that's why I was like, okay, guys, don't talk to me. I'm posting payments. There's a better way. So, when
Hmm.
it comes to outsourcing, it's not taking over your team. Your team is needed, but how much better could their time be spent when they don't have to block their books to post payments? They don't have to wait until the end of the day to see if they matched or not and scramble if they don't. They don't have to be on hold with insurance companies for up to 4 hours to then get hung up on by a representative. They don't have to have that stack of denials put to the side that then would look at me and just haunt me all week, just saying, you need to do an appeal. You have to do an appeal. Then I'd have to set aside more time just to write up an appeal, get the doctor involved. All of that takes so much time. And if I could have had that out of what was my responsibility and then just focus on, hey, the phone, because while I'm doing all this, your phone is still ringing. Patients are still coming in. There's unscheduled treatment still there. You still have to confirm. You know, have to get the schedule booked. You have to have a great patient experience. You have a new patient calling in. All this stuff is still happening while you're shut down trying to do these other items. So what we're trying to do is let's take off the items that you can outsource so that the office can focus on really the production and the patient experience. That's number one.
Yeah, and that's a great description. It reminds me of something. I can't take credit for this, but I did read it probably on social media where somebody compared, the difference between being at a desk and multitasking in an office with the phones ringing and patients and everything else, and an hourly wage versus when you are outsourcing your revenue cycle management, essentially, you have experts that are designated in that space, and you're not paying per the hour, you're actually paying for the experience. So like all of our billers are vetted, very experienced, and when they're not patient facing, they may be able to get honestly 5 to 10 times more done in an hour in that specialized front than a person who has to really focus on taking care of what's most important, the patient that's right there in
Mm-hmm.
front of them. And I
Yeah,
think that makes a huge
100%.
difference. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why outsourcing can be far more affordable. Not to say that it can replace the people in the office, because, like you said, it can't. It's just part of this whole partnership that, let's face it, there's a staffing issue in dentistry. And that's another hot topic we
Mm-hmm.
probably shouldn't squirrel on right now. But there are staffing shortages. There have been ever since COVID. So I guess I'll speak to what sets wisdom apart a little bit too, just from my
Mm-hmm.
experiences. Our billers know how to work every area of revenue cycle management, but they don't necessarily do that even here. There's an avenue to, if you like an insurance aging report the most, that's what you're doing. And then the people who
Mm-hmm.
love to submit claims and post payments, that's what they're doing. Same thing with insurance verification, patient billing. Instead of, just one person focusing on all of those things, they're still a team, albeit remote. And we're still a family too, just like you mentioned with your previous client. And all of it
Yeah.
just speaks to the in-office team being able to focus on patients, which that actually leads me to one thing that can happen, which ties into what's coming next week, our dental drama and what would you do, where people can submit stories to us for us to talk out on air. We want to hear all about it. So we're going to be wrapping up this session here in just a few. But think about that. We will put a link as to how to submit a story if you'd like it featured completely anonymously, and we'll just hash it out.
So if we don't have submissions, I could probably write a book
Yeah,
on
same.
stories that I've experienced in the practice. So we know you have them. So we'd love to
Yeah.
hear what's going on or what's been your biggest, like, what just happened moment in a dental practice. And we'd like to have a take at it and see what we would do in this situation. I'm excited for what that we just get to talk to you all in this podcast and make it about what you want to hear. So if you have any content you want us to go over, any hot topics you want us to go over, tell us your drama stories. We can talk about it on air. And then, of course, we'll have our guest speakers. And I'm really excited for what the future is going to bring. It is a new era that's coming. I'm excited that we get to continue to be a part of it. I'm excited that, I had brought up family. Like,
Mhm.
I come from my dad's practice, a family practice, bond dental billing. It's like a family wisdom. It's a family. And that's what we are trying to build here is we're not just an outsourced company that you don't know. Like, we are a part of your family. You're a part of our family. That's our goal in the space, is that our offices feel that, our team members feel that. And now we're bringing you in the podcast world into our podcast family. So we want to treat
Awesome.
this like our family too. So give us all your questions. We are here to help you along the path as we venture into this new era of dentistry.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time. Tune in, episode 2, when we start talking about dental drama. We'll see you then.
See you next week.
Thank you for joining us on today's journey through a new era of dentistry. Subscribe, stay tuned, and transform your career, practice, and patient experience. Until next time, keep innovating, keep caring, and stay smiling.